Hello and welcome. I'm Tracy Sipa with another edition of Scope. The recent opening of the Community Development Centre in Biala, Nakanai District, West New Britain Province is being described as a new era of change for women in the area. The facility is a jointly funded project between the Department for Community Development and Religion, the West New Britain Provincial Government, and the Nakanai District Development Authority.
The Biala Community Development Centre in Nakanai, West New Britain Province, is a multi-service government hub designed to provide a one-stop shop for local administrative, welfare, and registration services. The centre is expected to improve access to essential government services and provide greater opportunities and support for women and their families. The facility is a jointly funded project between the Nakanai District Development Authority, the West New Britain Provincial Government, and the Department for Community Development and Religion. After almost 4 hours of traveling the New Britain Highway, the welcome reception of traditional singing and dancing for Minister Jason Peter and his entourage was reassuring. East Nakanai LLG President John Gar was on hand to receive the guest.
Man, I'm not for kirap, but when I'm something, I'm stopping Salabel. And we can make him in mind blowing. And we can make him evoke him kind something or halvim or communities pro you me. Bring him more kind one emotion, look house duabo on one man, na Mary. So today, once again, making people for you, inshallah, go priorities. Thank you. Lord, you starting finish, Nakanai district and come up finish. Today, our buildings you come on top. You continue to make him, because you make him. When I'm something I'm stopping, inshallah, you can show him awesome. You got heart, lomipla.
Secretary for the Community Development, Youth and Religion, Jerry Ubase, who was also part of the visiting delegation, he commended the leadership that brought this project to fruition.
Service House do Bloipla. Big thank you, Lord, member Bloipla. Later Bloipla got vision, Lord thinking, Lord people that make him this la. MC top finish, civil registry, all that group services too, but I can't stop inside. So by helping people, you don't need you go to Kimbe or go to Mospil or work registration. You work in there, next certificate here.
In his address, Minister Peter urged men to allow the Word of God to guide their thoughts, words, and actions. He added that men must be more protective and supportive of the women and girls and encourage them to start in their individual homes.
This government, the planting more kind building was throughout the country. Today, one block will be marking with the milestone. This government, where now you will look at Nakanai District Community Development Center become a program. Passing at all the district, work to every step in progress yet. So soon by building will be complete. Department of Community Development, Youth and Religion, and we got this dream and the initiative of driving the strategy, this coordination, the delivery of the community development program we got in one district.
Mr. Peter says this department reflects the government's commitment to going rural, bringing services to the doorsteps of communities. Community Development Minister aims to bring services to doorsteps, especially those who need it most.
In this district, program by come up time this house will be open. Number one, a woman and gender equality, child protection, and family well-being, youth development, person with disability, even the elderly or aging man, married, informal economy. Informal economy was a literacy training and indeed the social protection team. Boli kamlo na training mo man to. How lo you by using money? start the table market. Now you go to yourself. Then you got the community mobilization, faith-based partnership with the is office to office flow, organ church flow UV, local work movement time. Social protection, also Council of Women flow UV, lo use this office.
Local MP and Minister for Oil Palm, Francis Maneke, stressed that violence and abuse against women and girls have no place in society. He reminded his people of the laws that are in place to police gender-based violence. He said men must take on the responsibility of creating safer, peaceful spaces for women and girls.
Sustenance lo good la life inside lo place lo yumi and me to play. Lo tutu you play clear. This la building and lo tutu and mister. Lo tutu and me come one time this la building. And me package building. That is why I strongly ask him, Minister Soroy this la time. Also me like him this la very important building and must come sanab lo Biala. Not knowing that this place will be a headquarter of Nakanai district. I already attracted so many infrastructure that's going to be built in this place. So now people must make him sure that you will look out him. Na to by me continue lo partner na make him sabla plenty of work inside lo district by me.
The 1.8 million Kina facility brings significant benefits and welcome change to Biala and the entire Nakanai district too.
You're watching Scope. Still to come. Manam Islanders anticipate permanent resettlement at Mangrove as Restoration Authority establish vital utilities ahead of the move. Central Province has taken a major step in showcasing its mangrove heritage with the soft launch of the Baltoma Mangrove Educational Boardwalk, the country's first purpose-built mangrove education and tourism facility. Officially opened on July 29th, the project is being hailed as a milestone in conservation education and community partnership.
Located in Bootless Bay, the boardwalk is designed as a living classroom, research hub, and tourism attraction. It represents a new model of collaboration where faith leaders, scientists, policymakers, and local communities converge to protect one of the nation's most critical ecosystems. Faith leaders were among the first to speak.
It is a great privilege to stand before you as we celebrate the official launch of the Baltoma Mangrove Boardwalk. You see, this launching is more than an opening of a boardwalk. It is a beginning of a lasting legacy that unites conservation, education, tourism, and faith.
Pastor Lonald Winnie, president of Central Papua Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, reminded the crowd that caring for creation is a shared responsibility.
Through partnership, commitment, and God's guidance. This boardwalk represents what can be achieved when communities, churches, conservation partners, and government agencies work together in a common purpose. The project was developed through partnership between Central Papua Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church and the Nature Conservancy to protect mangrove ecosystem while creating opportunities for education, recreation, and community engagement.
The 27-hectare Baltoma mangrove site supports marine life, strengthens food security, protects coastlines, and stores carbon. The first stage of the planned 3-kilometer boardwalk has now been completed, with walking continuing on the remaining sections. The launch also included the opening of a resource center, the unveiling of Blue Carbon Information Signage, and a guided walk along the new boardwalk. The Nature Conservancy's Asia Pacific Regional Managing Director, Will McGoldrick, described PNG as the global epicenter of mangrove diversity.
Recently that Papua New Guinea, when it comes to mangrove species biodiversity, Papua New Guinea is the epicenter globally. If I understand correctly, more than half of the species that exist of mangroves around the world are found here in Papua New Guinea, and I believe most of them are present in this site here, right on the edge of Port Moresby. So it is really, really important from a global point of view. And it is a reminder, this 27 hectares of mangroves, it is a reminder that nature is here with us in and near urban centres. And it's quite astounding that just on the outskirts of Port Moresby, we have an opportunity to spend time not only in this mangrove forest, but it's also part of a 13,000 hectare proposed marine protected area. Mangroves are often the unsung heroes of nature, or at least an undervalued resource. They may look modest, but hectare for hectare, they're some of the most important ecosystems that we have. They provide nurseries for fish, which then provide food for all of us. They provide a really important buffer against storm surge. They protect the coastlines and infrastructure. And they also are critical to the livelihoods of coastal communities. A little known fact as well is on a hectare by hectare basis, mangrove forests store more carbon in their roots and in the soil than a rainforest. Just imagine that, a vast rainforest with those tall trees, but on a hectare by hectare basis, what we're about to see today is even more important. Of course, rainforests are important too, but mangroves are very, very important.
Mr. McGoldrick also acknowledged the late Munawa Wanyaga for his contribution to the development of the project and encouraged school children to become future custodians of the environment. From global science to national policy, government leaders stressed the urgency of conservation. CPA's executive manager for the Marine Division, Kay Callum, underscored the boardwalk as a practical demonstration of conservation principles.
Mudflats and coastal marine life that together create a highly productive ecosystem that one would expect. And it's just close by to Port Moresby and it's accessible. So protecting mangroves means protecting the entire ecological system. This is where SEPA's role becomes specifically important as the lead government agency for environmental protection and conservation. SEPA remains committed to supporting biodiversity conservation. They are part of our heritage, our food systems, our protection, and our identity. As we open this boardwalk today, let us also renew our commitment to safeguarding the wider Bootless Bay ecosystem. Through partnership, it is possible. I'd like to thank you all for making your time today to join the TNC, CPC, SEPA, and CCDA in ensuring that this is just the start of the long journey that we will all walk together. God bless us.
The ceremonies highlighted came with the unveiling of a commemorative plaque. With the plaque unveiled, the boardwalk's purpose was clear: a living classroom and a shared vision. The Bautama Mangrove Educational Boardwalk initiative is more than infrastructure. It is a symbol of partnership, uniting landowners, communities, government agencies, churches, and international donors in safeguarding PNG's natural heritage.
Drop a like or comment on this story later on the TV1 online website. Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. When we come back, a look at the progress of resettling the Manam Islanders. The Manam Restoration Authority takes small but significant steps towards a permanent resolution. The Manam Resettlement Authority is nearing its final stage of resettling displaced Manam Islanders in Mangrove in the hinterlands of Bogia and Middle Ramu by 2028. The authority is awaiting documentation on the land title in order to complete the acquisition phase with 23.7 million kina. Mara is utilizing last year's budget allocation to support its efforts for Manam Islanders and host communities. Local reporter Alice Peter met with the authority recently for an update on last year's projects in the host communities at Mangrove.
The Manam Resettlement Authority, under its water supply project, allocated $200,000 to undertake El Nino awareness and preparedness. Mara took a proactive approach since last month to purchase 39 water tanks to distribute amongst its care centers of Mangem, Asuramba, Potsdam, including Manam and Boisa Islands, and host villages of Bogia to counter effects of El Nino. 23,000 liters and 19,500 tanks, as well as 2 registered outboard motors, are prioritized for this project. Mara CEO Richard Biala and his team have been back and forth since June to assess locations to install the water tanks, during which they carried out awareness in the villages and communal areas like the markets to share the effects of El Nino. Mr. Biala said Mangem Care Center will be hit hardest by the dry spell if they are not prepared well.
This government program and service will help people Boisa. We got 3 people heavy stuff here. 1 plan Mangrove. We got time over the Kaga Sabe dry. And people Sabe finish. Another plan and time lo water. Sun is strong, no but water. This la 2 people look Sabe finish. Number 3 and transport. You stop us on DY, you float lo sol water stop. You said lo island lo mainland but worry lo you. So one problem now, lo transport. And people start to help you with the motor. Look at him, let people look at that. Lo water side, and not to so people kisi on plan campaigns. And baron lo lo water. All take people kisi finish stop long banis. Not la wiki goal same. But the lulo when you go down, but tram lo kisi mol. Thank you come na put him na lo water. And big play heavy through.
The care centers will receive 9 tanks each. Manam and Boisa also get 3 each and an outboard motor. The rest of the tanks will be strategically placed where travelers and the general public can access for free. According to the latest census count, Boisa Island has approximately 833 people. However, only 689 people are accounted for. Boisa is further from Manam and is generally made up of volcanic rocks. Cultivating food is a challenge. Mara has given cassava stems, rice and cocoa seedlings as part of the island's food security and sustainability program. The locals experience strong winds and king tides. These conditions are dangerous and often they face transport difficulties. The 3 water tanks and outboard motor are welcome news. Peter Sukwa, a Kukurai or chief of Biala village, represents Boisa Island as well in the Mara committee. He told Boisa people that the boat will be in the care of the Boisa Seventh-day Adventist. It will be used by the community for engagements, including church, school, and medical runs as priority.
Emergency, time come up, lo sick, For time lo disaster come up and just boat by using. Boat and staff look out him good. Me, kisi one plantation, me looking was in boat okolo bagara para because management or money go past or run him in a good platamas. So me by Seri Simple man. So boat boys or two, people must manage him good. Policy now such is skipper must people man no can drink on top of boat, no can drink yawa, not on him boat. So boat by staff long time by helping me you me long time.
While the main focus of the Manam resettlement project is on the displaced islanders, Mara has also included host communities as part of the adaptation process. In the beginning of the year, the Mara Board and Steering Committee resolved to allocate 4 million kina from last year's 10 million kina funding as down payment for the land at Underroom. Landowners, including those in Pavrit, Raptuk, Sokmun, and Yankrit, unanimously agreed to use 1 million kina from the 4 million kina down payment to purchase resources that they would need to develop their communities. 3 weeks ago, the Mara team went to Ley, Mangrove province to get for the host communities 3 trucks, 4 Lucas sawmills, and 4 chainsaws. The community trucks will be used to transport coffee, cocoa, and facilitate the bitulna trade and other commercial agriculture activities. Mara has yet to purchase a steamroller and 2 dump trucks for continued roadworks for the newly cut road into Underroom from Barit Junction.
This is the start of the resettlement program. Land acquisition process starts today. Hopefully by the end of the month we should deliver this vehicle to the traditional landowners and start the acquisition part of the program. Once land is acquired, we start moving the Manam people. This purchase is out of the 4 million kina allocated by the national government. We still have the balance of funds. We will open a trust account and put it in there. We've already started the process with the Department of Finance. We'll open up a trust account for them. Future land acquisition payments will also be packed in the trust for them. Until they are ready, we'll end up with the money for them. We'll have a business development officer coming on board, hopefully later down the line, to manage these assets for them and train the landowners to look after the assets as they go forward.
During the board presentation on Boisa, Mr. Baya told the locals they must prepare to be the first to settle at Underroom because of their geographical challenges. The people of Biala, Bokure, and Boisa who are residing in the care centers will also be the first to move.
Now we make this la talk sabli blo Boisa. All man and Mary young pla you start nothing, you play ready. Gaban gin title blo ground blo Underroom. Sample blo blo come on to me pla. Go Underroom sim blo ground. Okay, guardian number tingmol man Mary lo here. I me talk sabli blo now. Close to by mixing title blo ground blo sindan blo Manam blo Underroom. So boys, are you ready? Biala, are you ready? Orlando Mangrove will be first logo. Hopefully by end of July or August, by government back and give title blo ground. Look, you must send along. You me alright lo here. Tasol Highland no not look at me. Look time no good. Time to stand. Wara is by finish.
The Manam Islanders issue remains one of the most challenging humanitarian agenda in Papua New Guinea to date. After the 2004 eruption, a government directive was given to the islanders to move to mainland Bogia and Sumkar and settle in the care centers. It was a temporary arrangement that lasted a little over 20 years. The original Manam Restoration and Resettlement Authority legislation was passed in 2006 under former Sumkar MP, the late Ken Fairweather. The act was later succeeded and updated by the current Manam Resettlement Authority 2026 under former Meden Governor Jim Cass. It was not until 2020 that a proper board was appointed and now chaired by Dr. Figa Boga. Under the current Mara board, the government gave an agency code where funding would be directly appropriated to the cause. However, funding has always been a challenge since 2020 to deliver key activities. Mara faced misappropriation issues and court cases filed by the islanders. Within the 6 years that Mara has been operating, it has established a food distribution and multiplication area at Daigul as a food security strategy for Manam Islanders as they prepare to move to Underroom. Daigul has partnered with the National Agricultural Research Institute, sourcing crops for cultivation and distribution. These include various species of rice, taro, yams, and cocoa, amongst others. They are also looking into partnering with the Coconuts Industry Corporation for hybrid coconuts. Rice has been distributed to all islanders and villages and host communities in their programs to empower locals. They started harvesting the rice last year using established mills for farmers. It is expected that by 2028, when the land title is secured, resettlement will commence.
And that ends tonight's Scope. Visit the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and leave a like or comment on our Scope stories this evening. See you next Sunday for another edition of Scope.